I'm so excited to show you our Midnight Crow online workshop. The full tutorial for this workshop is available at our Patreon page. You can visit shelleyparkerart.com for all of our links and all of our information, all of our wood cutouts, which I'll talk to you a little bit about in this video. But this is a really, really fun piece. It's the first crow that I've ever painted, so there's a little bit of what do I say? A challenge in the bird that is all one color like that. He does have lights on the back. You can see I made a battery pack to hold the battery. Just kind of keeps the cords out of the way. So he's really pretty just displayed on a tabletop easel, but he would also be beautiful hung up. I think he's a really fun fall piece. So let's jump into the painting of him. I wanted sort of a hazy, kind of creepy background, a very fall night background, a little bit of a hint of a full moon shining back there, kind of some far off distant trees, all quite dark, but you know, kind of creepy without being scary, if that makes sense. I wanted to make the bottom really dark, kind of have a hint of some foliage down there. Here I'm coming in just adding a little bit more detail, a little bit of glow of the moon off the top of some of those bushes. And then I'm starting in to paint the crow wood cutout. For all of the classes that I offer, you get a full tracer, so you certainly do not have to buy the wood cutout. You could just trace this design onto your substrate of choice. My substrate is an 11 by 14. He would also work on a 9 by 12. The 11 by 14 just gives you a little more room around him for some of those trees and things going on in the background. But as I'm painting this first layer, I'm just blocking in where some of the dark shapes are, where some of the highlights are. And I'm breaking it down in sections because some of the feathers, if you look at the reference picture, which you also get with as a member, it's all the feathers are just, they're a little bit intimidating. There's so much detail going on. So by breaking it down in sections, I can concentrate on each section and make sure that I capture his form and shape. I know at this point, as I'm painting, that I'm making these highlights too bright, but I'm going to be using glazes a lot, both on the crow himself and on the flowers. So I'm purposefully making these highlights a little brighter than I know I want them to be. And I go over exactly how I mix the glazes in the tutorial. He looks a little funny here without the flower shapes because his leg actually tucks between the layers of the wood cutout shapes for the flowers. So it's exactly the same process for the flowers. I'm building in the shadows, adding the highlights, and again, like I mentioned, I know that the highlights are brighter than they'll end up being. One of the great things about using the wood cutouts is you could see how quickly the leaves painted in. The shape is already there. It just needs a little bit of paint and it just goes really quickly. I have a dog rolling around under my desk. If you can hear the dog noises, I'm sorry. Here's the right side flowers. These are the flowers that go underneath of his right side shoulder. And now I'm gluing all of that in place. And again, I show you exactly how to glue it, how to line things up for success. When you're dealing with the glue, you want to have things planned. There's a few more details. I love the details. I love this part of the painting where I can come in, make sure that my highlights are bright enough, make sure that my shadows are dark enough, alter the shapes of the flowers a little bit, added in a little bit more of the quinacridone magenta just to bring that pop of pink in. And with the full tutorial, you get my exact color mixes. So I share exactly how I mixed each color. For this piece, I am adding glass and resin. And the glasswork on this one is very, very simple. But I liked just the dimension of a little bit of glass on the flowers. And then I carefully added resin so that I would have enough room under the resin to add the lights in. So it's an amazingly fun piece. There are 4 different parts to this class in the Patreon membership. Drop in and visit our Patreon page. We have a lot of free videos that we will be bringing to you. So there's definitely a bonus to even being just a free member. But our membership is very, very reasonable, and we have a new project each month. In September, we are going to be doing a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin that will also be lighted. So he's going to be a lot of fun too. So drop in and follow us. I hope to see you at Shelley Parker Art.